In this episode, we sit down with Alex O'Keefe, entrepreneur and all-round top guy. In this episode, we talk about stoicism, Donald Trump, crypto, my experience at an Alex Hormozy event, and the journey of life. This has been probably my favourite conversation that I've had so far. This episode is not to be missed. I hope you enjoy it. Right, we'll get started. Ready? I had a guy.
Let's go, bro.
I had a guy that we're about to start, don't we? And then, oh, can I pray? And
Okay.
I said, fucking crack on, mate. Do what you need to do.
Do you know what? It's fucking weird they said that. Because
If you want to pray, mate, then... Yeah.
I've prayed this morning,
Yeah.
but again, not to a God,
Yeah.
just to something. It's more like expressing gratitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's whatever way you find that works for you, innit?
100%.
And it felt really powerful this morning. Just expressing that gratitude and thanking everyone for the opportunities that come our way.
Yeah.
Good health,
Yeah.
family's healthy, all that type of stuff, mate. So yeah, it's nice. I get it.
Love it.
Yeah, we're still on that journey.
For me, I know when we had our conversation, there's been a journey for you, hasn't there?
There has, mate. Yeah.
Been definitely a journey. And obviously speaking now about trying to find your faith or your religion. But you are, how old are you now?
33 years young.
33 years young. And you're 33 years young, you've got a 4-year-old, you've got a 13-week-old, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But you do strike me straight away, even when we're going back and forth on Instagram, as somebody that has a very good energy. And speaking about religion, we're talking about, I said I don't believe in a specific God, but I believe in energy. And I believe that I feel good vibes,
Yeah.
good energy,
Yeah.
good karma. And that's what I get from you. But has that always been the case? Have you always had this radiation of positivity and good vibes?
What a way to start, mate. Thank you, first of all. I made you feel good on our podcast. Now it's your turn. But yeah, thank you for firstly having me on and saying those kind words. I think, especially for first impressions, and not that it's fake, but you decide what you think about someone almost instantly. So if you can give someone high energy, love, compassion, I think you start off on the right foot.
I agree.
Have I always been like that? Yeah, I have. Because I remember even being back in school and I'd always be the one like walking around high-fiving people. Hey lad, you all right? Yeah. And I've just found it works. It works, it feels good. It's like a reciprocal thing.
Yeah.
It's like whatever energy you give, most of the time you're met back with that as well. And it just feels nice in the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a connection thing. So something that we might unpack here, mate, is one of my biggest skills is connection, and it's connecting with yourself, other great people for my podcast, to build businesses, just personal relationships. That's always something I've had, but it's something that I've honed in for the last 2 to 3 years, especially, and I've kind of using it as a bit of a superpower, really. And that's a great thing about life. It's finding what your superpower is and leaning into it and using it to your advantage and using it for other people's advantage as well. So
Definitely. Do you believe that everybody has a superpower?
I do. Yeah, I do. Not everyone discovers what that power is.
I was going to say, what do you think holds people back from discovering it or finding out what
Playing
that is?
too small. Playing small, and I think we spoke about it on our podcast that we did with you. Limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
People will never find the true potential because they're living under a glass roof. And I think one of my purposes, I feel, I have in this world is to try and show people that we've all got something special about us. It's just breaking through that, getting rid of old beliefs that we've had manufactured on us from the past. It takes some work. With it, doesn't it?
Definitely.
But I think when you finally discover that, and it's a beautiful thing.
I love what you said earlier about I find I was similar in a sense that, there's so much negativity in the world, isn't there, at the minute? And
There is, mate,
especially with social media, it's widespread, and the news, and World War III impending and stuff like that. But that's all stuff that's very much out of our control. And we spoke a lot about stoicism when we had a conversation. But
we did.
What is in your control is how you treat other people, isn't it?
Correct.
It's what you do to be kind to other people. It's what you do for other people. It's what you say to other people. It's the energy that you give to other people.
Yeah.
It's all of that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think if everyone adopted that mindset of doing what you have the power to do in terms of just be a kind human, look after the ones that are immediately around you, your family, your friends, your local community. If everyone just adopted that mindset and didn't really pay too much attention to this other beast that lives in the media and trying to control our emotions and thoughts, if everyone adopted this mindset of looking after the village, the world would be a beautiful place.
Well, it's really, isn't it, when we talk about the serious epidemic of mental ill health, especially in Western society, especially in men, it comes from loneliness in men, and loneliness comes from a lack of tribe. When you're talking about your community, again, we don't have the figures in front of us, but if you go back even 50 years, when there wasn't access to all this outside noise, people had a community, people had a tribe, people had somebody, they had their purpose. Again, when we talk about, what we need to improve on our well-being is having a purpose. It's having the community to provide for, to look after. And I think that's, again, what's missing in the world. It's a lack of purpose.
Yeah.
It's a lack of community.
Absolutely.
And loneliness is probably the biggest killer in men, because that's what leads for people to sadly do what so many people are doing.
You're right, mate. Exactly right. And I think, especially with the rise of technology, that is obviously people connect over social media, but it's not real connection. It's, and I was listening to someone talk about how much kind of just simply verbal communication is the overall thing of connection, and it's such a small piece. It's like me and you sat opposite each other. I can see you stroking your arm and you're smiling, and I'm getting sort of endorphins from you, and everything online is just so surface level.
Yeah, you need to get deeper, don't you?
We need to go deeper, and this is what I love about you and what we do. We offer spaces to go deeper and have that connection and pass this on to others who are going to take it on through their ears. But hopefully us talking about this can inspire people to go and seek that in their own lives and find their own community, whether it's whatever you're interested in. If you're into fitness, go and find a gym. If you're into reading, go find a book club. If you're into whatever.
Don't you think part of the problem is, though, that it's, and I say this when I'm doing the talks in schools, it's that unless you take action, then nothing will change. So, for example, if you feel like you don't have a sense of belonging or a community, or You know, you've just mentioned there's a massive scale as to if you love going and doing a 10K or love rigorous exercise, high rocks, and somebody that just loves sitting in a corner and reading, that's worlds apart. But there is still places available.
There's still connection there.
There's still connection, like you said. But, you know, I think, especially from my experience of speaking in schools, it's the lack of action. And like conversations are amazing, and creating that place to be vulnerable and open up about the way that you're feeling and getting that weight off your chest is so important, and it's something that we'll obviously continue to do forever. But without action, nothing changes.
Very true. Very, very true.
How do we change that?
It takes courage. And I were reflecting this morning before I came and spoke with you. You know, what's been a common trait in my life is having the courage to take action before you're ready. Because you can get good later. Just take action first. Take action, like a couple of examples. When I first started I've got a couple of different businesses, but I've got a window cleaning business. I started that business, I didn't even know how to clean a freaking window, my friend. Yeah? And I'd already got customers lined up because I just knew I wanted to do that. Was I ready? No. Did I take the action? Yes. Did I get good at it later? Yes. So I turned up at my first job, my first customer. I remember it very clearly. It was a salon, and it was just one window. And I went to B&Q and I bought a freaking window cleaning starter pack, right? And this is how I started. This is how I started the business. 6 years on, it's now, you know, I don't need to talk about numbers, but I only work in the business 2 days a week now because I've got 3 lads that work with me. And that's been a hell of a journey to get to that point. And I've bought 2 businesses in the last 12 months, which is something we can talk about.
Yeah.
But like I say, action promotes growth, and just start before you're ready. A great little quote is ready, fire, aim. You know, instead of ready, aim, fire, because people get lost in that moment of over-analysing. And that analysis, what's the thing? Paralysis by analysis or something like that. You over-analyse something so much, you end up just stood still. So that's one of my biggest advice for people is start before you're ready.
Yeah, just take
Work
action.
it out.
Yeah.
Take action.
This episode of the Tom's Talks podcast is proudly sponsored by Unthin, the hair growth company that's helping people feel more confident in their own skin. From supplements to topical product, Unthin is deeply rooted in the science behind helping people with a healthy hair and scalp. You can use the code TOM20, that's TOM20 for 20% off at the checkout. Thank you to Unthin to supporting honest conversations around mental health. From one business owner to another, I imagine there's been a few trials and tribulations and challenges on the way. What's one low point or one, I say failure, but it's never a failure, is it? Because as long as you're learning. But
Correct.
what's one low point, one failure along the journey, especially within business, that's taught you the most?
There's been moments. There's been a lot of low moments. But I think the low moments come when you stop growing. I think when you stop trying to grow, you end up plateauing, and you always end up just going backwards. And I remember there were a time where I kind of you might be able to relate to me, shiny object syndrome. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're smiling.
Yeah,
I can see that. So I kind of had this window cleaning business, and I was looking at other shiny things I wanted to do, you know, and I believe that people like ourselves and people that are listening, you know, some of us are made to be entrepreneurs and starting businesses. Not everyone is, which I've learned. But you need to get your business to a certain level before you can kind of take your eye off it slightly. Because I've tried to diversify a bit too early in the past. And
What did you try and diversify into? Is this with the window cleaning business?
Yeah.
Is it diversifying into a different business altogether or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. So, that learning the power of singular focus is very, very big. Because I think you need to get the business to a certain point where it's almost self-sufficient before you can take your energy and focus away from that. Otherwise, you're leaving this business in a very vulnerable state. So I've done that in the past. But that also comes from not having the right intention with the business. So I was just kind of without a real plan. I think if you don't have the real plan, it's chaos. So I think having a really clear set out plan, your intention with the business. Now I know that. It's all right saying that now. But yeah, I just kind of got a bit distracted. So the advice I'd give is, set real clear intentions with your business. Get it to a level where it's a bit more safe. Where you can step away, and don't leave the business vulnerable. Our mate Hormozy talks about it, doesn't it? It's like, imagine if you stayed on one single path for 50 years within a business or something like that, and just think of how successful it's going to be, because you're not getting pulled from pillar to post. I want to talk to you about that little trip you had over there, by the way. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good. I won't go back to Vegas.
Oh, really?
No.
How come?
Overpriced.
Okay.
Not for me.
Is that where
the event was?
The event was, right?
Yeah. The event was. It was on the Wednesday and Thursday, and my mindset was, although people don't believe me, my mindset was, because it was an 8-hour time difference, I got there on the Saturday night. The event was on the Wednesday, so I thought it'd take me 2 days to acclimatise, and I wanted to be on it. I wanted to be ready for this business event.
Yeah.
But it was too early. I should have got there the day before, because Elliot, my best friend that I went with, he's got his own recruitment company. Yeah. And he has an office in Austin. So
oh, really?
We went.
That's cool.
Did the event. The next day we went to Austin, and then was in Austin, and Austin was really cool. Loved it.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, would have been there for longer. But Vegas it's a kind of place where if you love to eat rubbish food, if you love to gamble and you love to drink, it's the place for you. But I'm not a big drinker. I don't like to eat rubbish food all the time. Like, it's a once a week thing. And I don't gamble. I never have. The only thing I've ever gambled on is I've gone to the races occasionally. Yeah. So after a day, I was like, what is there to do?
How you've just described that to me there, it's just like a place full of sin.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And
it's Sin City, isn't it?
Sin City.
Yeah.
Literally. I've never actually looked at it that way. And I guess it plays on people's vices a lot, that place, by
the event for people watching was Alex Hormozy, who is entrepreneur, business owner, owns acquisition.com, scaled,
absolute savage,
multi-million pounds. Absolute savage. Still very, very young. He's wrote $100 million offers, $100 million leads. His latest book, I can't remember, $100 million business models, I think it is.
Yeah.
And somebody I followed for probably a good 5 years, and it was actually my other friend, Tom, separate friend in recruitment, got his own business. Both fellows doing phenomenally well. And he got onto the business event initially, which this is really funny that I'm coming to. He got on initially and they said, you can bring 2 people with you, it's X amount each. So he said to me and Elliot straight away, do you fancy it? And I'm just the kind of person, I just say yes to everything. I think life's too short. Anyway, he didn't come in, and me and Elliot went on as well.
Oh, really?
But it was all about scaling.
Yes.
Scaling your business, scaling workshop. What do you need to scale your business? And it was eye-opening.
Yeah.
Like the family business OSI was really what I went for. Tom's Talks is just me speaking in front of people. It's not really scalable like that. But It was eye-opening in a sense of like what you need to scale your business. But the interesting thing was, they were like, even if you want to scale your business or if you want to sell your business, the same principles apply. If you want to get your business to a point where it's sellable, talking about EBITDA and etc., even if you do that, you will still, the same principles apply to growing your company. As you mentioned very rightly earlier, that if you're stuck in the day-to-day and you don't make your business self-sufficient, then if you're always the main person there, then your business will never scale. If you're the main person in that business that's doing everything, it'll never scale.
Yeah.
You know, and again, the overriding theme of the event was A-star players, right people in the right seats. People that are better than you at specific things in your business.
Yeah.
That's how you scale and grow a company. And the thing that you'd seen him do very well, albeit, you know, our business does well, not near as well as him. And he has access to a shitload of money. Again, I'm nowhere near that. He had hired the best people in the US in those seats. So like his director of sales, he had a director of sales, director of marketing, director of business strategy, director of communications, like all the different elements of a company. And like one of the people that was a director had worked at BlackRock, which is the biggest hedge fund in America.
Yeah.
So he took him out of the biggest hedge fund in America.
Yeah.
One of the other guys had scaled 2 multi-million-pound companies and just wanted to work with Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
So it was like, obviously on a much bigger scale, but it's just like, it was just a really good reaffirming of where I'm at. We've done a great job since my dad retired, but now you know what you need to do moving forward.
There's levels to the game, isn't there?
Levels to the game.
And I suppose you going and seeing that and feeling it is like, it's like, wow, I've got much more to, it's kind of humbling, isn't it?
Oh, that was what I said.
Yeah, humbling, yeah.
Because we're doing, I don't really care what, we'll talk figures. This year we'll do a 4.7, which will be his best ever year for the family company, which is, really chuffed to bits about that. That's revenue, not profit, by the way. I wish it was profit.
That's amazing. Well done.
But thank you, mate. But the people in that room, obviously, Alex Hormozy's company is hundreds of millions. Like, I was probably the lower level in terms of revenue.
Yeah.
Like people at 10, 15, 20, 50 million even, some of them. And like, you're in that room and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like you said, levels to the game.
Inspiring. It just made me think of, whether you're scaling or whether you're selling, it's the systems that you put in place in it. So I don't know if you've ever read a book, The E-Myth.
I haven't, man, no.
So the book's by a chap called Michael E. Gerber. And he basically, it's called The Entrepreneurial Myth. And it's basically, it breaks down like the McDonald's sort of franchise system. And he basically says you need to set your business up like this, whether you're selling or just scaling, because either way, you're going to end up being the bottleneck of your own sort of destiny. So that's a great book for anyone that's listening as well. That really helped give us a new perspective on business as well.
What does success mean to you then, within life or within business?
Well, that's a big question.
And how's that definition evolved over the years?
Yeah, it's evolved. It's evolved massively. And I'd love to say something quite different, but I think the general consensus is when you are younger, you believe that success is material, cars, money, houses. That's kind of programmed into you from a young age. And now success for me is having time to be present with my kids, with my children, with my wife, and having the autonomy to choose what I do daily, most days. And obviously being able to provide financially for my family, but having more time. So like that's success for me. And that's beautiful.
I think time is the biggest currency that is overlooked. You know, people chase money,
Yeah.
but ultimately, what do you chase money for? Like for me, I want the same. You know, I want to wake up. Like for me, true wealth is waking up with stability, and have autonomy in doing whatever you want to do that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people can earn a lot of money, but don't create wealth because they never really create freedom. Like you can earn 100, 200, 300, 400 grand a year, but if you're stuck in a 12-hour job for the rest of your life until you retire, then you're not really free, are you?
Exactly.
And if you fucking hate it, then that's another thing.
Yeah.
But if you have assets in place that provide cash flow every month that comes no matter what, whether you work or if you don't work, and then you have the choice to do whatever you want,
Yeah.
that's true wealth.
That is true wealth, mate. And I think just like going to our parents' generation, obviously not yours because your dad were in business, but let's say most of the population, their idea of success was claiming a pension.
Yeah.
When they were
Paying off the mortgage.
paying off your mortgage and claiming a pension when you get to 65.
Yeah.
By the way, now it's gone up to 66, 67, whatever. Just pushing that carrot a bit further along. But I'm saying this now because my dad's literally about to claim his pension next month. So congrats, Paps, anyway. But that's his kind of version of success, which is wrong, but it's still a great feeling for him.
Yeah.
It's a weird conundrum, really, isn't it? But
that's what we're taught, though, isn't it?
That's what we're taught.
That's what we're taught at school. You go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you get in 50 grand's worth of debt.
Yeah.
You leave school, you save for a mortgage, you get a mortgage, you pay your mortgage off. At 65, you get your pension, and then you get put in a home 10, 15 years later. So you get really only 10 years of ultimate freedom of choice to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it's about, and again, don't get me wrong, I work incredibly hard to provide the life that I've got, but I know equally I'm very grateful and lucky to have the life that I've got. But a lot of the money that I make goes into investments, whether it's stocks and shares or crypto or property, because ultimately I don't want to work every day for the rest of my life. I want to retire at 40, 45. I still want to work, but I want the freedom of choice to work.
Exactly.
And I want to be able to do, if I want to wake up on a Monday or a Tuesday or whatever day of the week when I've got kids and think I'm just going to take the day off and take them to the zoo. I don't want to have to wait to Saturday to do that.
Yeah. Having the choice is
Freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice. And I kind of when we were growing up, I were lucky enough to notice the patterns early.
How old's your dad now?
My dad's, I believe, 65, 66. So he's around that pension sort of claiming age. I feel I were lucky to see the system early and know that I wanted more for myself and my future family. But not everyone sees that, do they? And it's a damn shame that people are not educated in this type of stuff. And I think everyone, it's called self-development because you have to do it yourself. It's not given to you, unfortunately. But that's also an empowering thing.
It's also for me, like I say, if you are happy in your job, 9 to 5 or whatever it is, Monday to Friday, if you're happy, then great, fantastic.
Yeah.
But how many people do you know say on a Monday morning, fuck's sake, I've got to go to work. I cannot wait for Friday. If that's the case, then do something about it.
Very true, mate.
Don't moan about it.
Very true.
Two different things.
Yeah,
For me, you know, if you're happy doing your job and you love your job and you're happy in that, 9 to 5 and getting to Friday, which a lot of people are, fantastic. But if you're not, and you find yourself getting up on a Monday morning saying, I can't wait for Friday and you live for the weekend, you dread 5 days of the week to look forward to 2 days of the week,
Yeah.
then there's something very, very wrong there. And that's where you need to make a decision and you need to make a choice and take some action.
Yeah, very true, mate. Very true. It comes back to the word action again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it all starts with just asking questions. It's just being curious.
Yeah.
I remember growing up and seeing evidence of someone that's done something different, and that piqued my curiosity. And I just remember, we grew up in a really working class town, and
Where is that? Is
Halifax, mate, yeah. And there were a couple of like my friends' parents who had these big houses and had a lot of money, which obviously is a sign of success and sign of doing things differently. Very humble people as well. But I think what we're taught is to kind of put a bit of an evil spin on it, isn't it? It's like, money's the root of all evil and all this, but that's bullshit. When we grow up, we realise that's bullshit. So actually just seeing evidence of something done differently and having curiosity early to find out what path they took is where it starts for a lot of people, but not everyone even asks the questions. And I suppose we can fall into the trap of thinking that everyone thinks like us sometimes, can't we?
But that's the point I'm making. Everybody's different. Not one single person is the same, and that's what I'm saying. It's like if you are happy in that mindset, fantastic. Like all I ever want in the world is if you're happy doing what you're doing, the gender you are, the ethnicity, the religion, the race, whatever. If you are happy, that's great. But then it's when if you start causing harm to other people, you start being unkind, you start pushing your opinions on other people, and then if other people don't agree with you, you're not very nice to them. That's where I don't like it. That's the problem with the world at the minute. We were speaking about religion earlier. My issue with the world at the minute is, and I've said this multiple times over the last few years, if you are happy in your gender, whether you are gay, straight, lesbian, non-binary, gender fluid, trans, whatever it is, if you're happy, same if you're a Catholic, a Jew, a Muslim, a Sikh, whatever, whichever religion, if you are black, white, again, whichever, if you're happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Unless then you start pushing it on other people, you start animosity and doing harmful and unkind things to other people because they are not the same as you. Like what if you were a Muslim and I was a Christian, you being a Muslim makes absolutely no difference to my life whatsoever.
Yes.
It's not going to make a jot of difference.
Yeah.
Or if you were black, again, you being black makes no difference to my life in any way, shape or form. So why the fuck does it matter so much to people? I just honestly can't wrap my head around it. I don't get it.
No.
I don't get why so many people get so upset and so offended and so frustrated when somebody is different.
Mate, you've hit the nail on the head, and I think whoever the creator is, call it what you want, God, the universe, flipping Colonel Sanders, but whoever you want to call it, they've made people different for a reason.
Yeah.
Not everyone's meant to be the same, right? And we're all meant to coexist together in harmony, and we don't need to control what that person thinks, and that person had a different upbringing to me, and therefore they're going to think differently to I am. And there were a beautiful sort of story that someone told me about, you're walking through the forest, You're walking through the forest, and you can kind of see it from a bit of an aerial view, and you're looking at the trees, and one's taller than the other, and one's got different coloured leaves, and one's, whatever. All these trees are different and they all coexist together, and it's beautiful. And that's how life's meant to be. we're all meant to be different, and we're all meant to create this sort of beautiful harmony together, coexist. And I always think about how mental it looks if you zoom out into space and look down on this globe, and you see people fighting against who owns that piece of green land there, or that sea there. If you zoom out and just look at it from an aerial perspective, you see how mental it is. Something's gone wrong.
It's like, again, like, when is enough enough? So again, investing, especially in crypto, the market's been very turbulent over the last few weeks. You do crypto, don't you?
I'd love to. Yeah, let's talk about crypto, man.
The point I'm getting, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I've heavily invested in it.
Yeah.
And it's driving me insane at the minute. But Donald Trump, for example, President of the United States, he is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And with what happened on Friday with the liquidation in the markets, all caused, not all, but mainly by a tweet with a potential tariff on China, X amount, whatever. Pure manipulation of the markets.
Yeah.
Pure manipulation. Back in February, again, when the markets crashed because Donald Trump said X, Y, Z on tariffs on whoever, pure manipulation of the markets. He sells high, buys back in low, all for himself and his chums and his buddies.
Yeah.
But he is a billionaire. And he's got probably, 10, 15 years left on the planet?
Yeah.
This is the thing I can't wrap my head around.
I know.
Like, when is enough enough?
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm doing well, and I'm building assets and cash flow and stuff like that. But I know I'm doing well, but I'm not there yet. But I know that I'll be there in the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
So therefore, again, freedom of choice. I can wake up whenever I want, do whatever I want. But if I was 70 years old and I was a billionaire, would I want to be the president of the United States? It's psychopathic, sociopathic.
Yeah, I think so.
Bizarre behaviour.
And did you see the guy that shorted Bitcoin?
Yeah, 88 billion.
88 billion, mate.
Again, inside.
Inside.
Of course it is.
Inside.
Of course it is.
Come on, man.
How can you get that so right
Yeah.
and make that much money? But again, that's the thing in the United States. He's the president of the United States. So where is all this backwards behaviour? Where are people being held accountable for it? They're not, because he's either paying people off or it's people just let it slip because he is who he is.
Yeah, listen, mate, I can't even get into the character of him. I think he's doing probably a better job than most other politicians would do in that position. But
Can't knock some of the things he does. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's a polarising character, isn't he? But I think going back to Bitcoin, it is very volatile, isn't it? But I got into Bitcoin in 2020.
I did.
Did you?
2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beat you. I beat you.
You did. I bought what did you buy it? Because I bought a 17,000 a coin.
12,000.
Oh.
Ah, we're in. Come on. I bought half a Bitcoin.
Oh, nice.
I bought half a Bitcoin at the time.
Have you still got it?
I've got about 0.3. I liquidated about seven grand of it last year, but it was to put into my sauna business. So it would be, looking back now, I shouldn't have fucking taken it out. Stupid. But we don't know what's going to happen, do we? No. But the thing is, with something like that, it's another thing. You've just got to educate yourself on the financial system. Even look at the history of money. It used to be traded in fucking seashells in the past. It's all an exchange of value, and just learning about that for me were really interesting. And then I heard someone talk about it on a podcast where they were like, do your 20 hours of research on Bitcoin and it'll leave you no other choice than to invest because you'll understand it and then there's no other option. So I would highly recommend people to educate themselves on cryptocurrency, mostly Bitcoin for me. But I've got a full Ethereum coin, which I bought when it was 260 quid.
No way. Nice.
Yeah, an XRP
Yeah.
when it were 17 pence per coin
Lovely.
as well. So, but because I'd done my 20 hours and researched it, I knew I wanted a long position in it all. So
Yeah. Time in the market.
timing. But then, so I just sold my house with my brother. I had a chunk of cash. Thought, right, I've done my research. It's going in there, and I'm going to forget about that. That's my pension, yeah. But now I do something called dollar cost averaging. So
I was going to say. Yeah.
So every month, I take profit from my businesses and put it in Bitcoin because that's just my strategy.
Yeah.
But
and it's the right strategy.
It's
the right strategy.
Beat the market.
If I could have my time again, like I put a chunk in probably a few months ago, I thought it was the right time. Do you ever know if it's the right time? Probably not. But again, if I could have my time again, and what I'm going to start doing is dollar cost averaging or pound cost averaging.
Yeah.
Especially when I have
Pound
kids.
cost, yeah.
When I have kids, I'm going to set up a Coinbase account or whichever exchange for them.
Yeah.
And then put X amount, 50 quid, 100 quid a month in every month until they're 18.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see. Yeah.
Mate, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen over the next 3 months? Because there's a lot of speculation. You know, if you look at previous cycles, I love that we've got into this. I love talking about it. In previous cycles, obviously after the 4-year halving, Bitcoin's all-time high generally is however many days after. And if you look at the last halving, it was all-time high was last week or whatever, and then it starts to go into the bear market. But if you look at the other coins, it tends to be like sort of the end of October, middle of November, very latest end of November. But obviously with the massive liquidation last Friday, and I've not looked at it today, I think it's down again today. Do you think there is that sort of blow off top that people are expecting, or do you think it's done? No,
I think there is, and I've met a guy recently who's become a really close friend, and I'm going to keep him sort of secret.
Just drop it.
He's kind of under the radar. And I love this. He's 60 something, right? He's very similar age to my dad.
Right.
And what I call him my rich dad.
Rich dad, poor dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
not saying your dad's poor.
Yeah. No, but it's mindset, isn't it? It's mindset. So he's very big into Bitcoin. He's got probably millions. Yeah. And he were telling me about this cycle of every 4 years. Around this time of year, it fucking booms. And he's very, very convinced that it's going to be happening again this year.
Yeah. So he's saying between now and the end of the year, there's going to be a blow off top.
Yeah.
I fucking hope there is, because
I'm
just killing him.
But to get over that emotional thing with it, that's why I like the idea of just putting it in and not worrying about it.
Well, I deleted my app. I deleted
Did you fall out of it?
Trading 212 as well. I've done a bit like with the stocks and shares and my ISA and whatnot. And I deleted. No, it's not that I fell out with it. I just find myself checking it fucking 5 million times a day. So I deleted it. But then now, because I'll be honest, I have put a decent chunk in there. And like 3 or 4 weeks ago, we're up a lot. And then now I'm to be fair, I bought Bitcoin back in 2021 and Ethereum, so I'm probably break even if I was to sell, but because there is a decent amount in there, obviously I'm not gonna say how much. I'm conscious of I'm looking, I'm following all these different accounts, doing my research, all this, and everyone's saying something different. Obviously, yes, you should do your own research. 100% agree with that. But I'm like, do I take it out? Do I not?
Don't take it out.
No, I know.
Just keep it in.
Yeah.
Just keep it in.
Well, I've had it in there. I've had a good enough sort of chunk in there for the last 4 years anyway.
Nice.
This podcast is fueled by Prep. Prep is a nutrition-first meal prep company that allows me to have high-quality meals without spending hours in the kitchen. As a business owner that prioritizes their health and fitness, Prep allows me to hit my goals for the day without sacrificing loads of time. My personal favourite is the Cajun salmon, but if that's not for you, then there is plenty of other options as well, including vegetarian and halal. And the best part, you get 10% off your order when you use the code TOM10 at the checkout. That's TOM10, at prepuk.com.
But like maybe going back to what we were saying about earlier, like the guy that I've just met, it's just crazy, isn't it? Like when you're into like these different sort of realms, how you can connect.
Conversations that you have,
yeah, and it connects you with people. And I we had someone on podcast, Stevie Ward, who used to play Leeds Rhinos, and he talked about connection over time is a myth. So he believes that you can connect with someone like almost instantly, and especially if you share the same sort of values as someone. And I believe that because I've experienced it. Like even when I first met you, I feel like I know you.
Definitely,
and that's a thing in it. And I think people think you've got to have a lot of time to really connect with someone, but I don't think that's actually the case. But just meeting this guy is like he's an out and out entrepreneur. He's an inventor. He's invented like literally products that he's patented in like the construction industry, and it's just so cool like meeting like-minded people like that, and just being open to new connections like that. You just never know where the path's going to take you.
No, they could introduce you to.
Exactly.
Yeah, as I say quite frequently in my talks, you're a product of your environment, aren't you?
You are, mate, yeah.
You're a 6 of the 5 people you hang around with.
Exactly that.
So choose
Be
your
very
circle
careful.
wisely.
Be very careful.
So we spoke about this on the episode we did. You are somebody that's very stoic and philosophical.
There we go. Thanks. Yeah.
Is that something that's always been the case, or has that been a journey for you? And where did it start?
It's not always been the case. But I believe that words have the power to change your emotion and your actions. So I love reading.
What's your favourite
wisdom?
book?
My favourite book? Gosh. It's like asking me to pick a favourite child. I must say, in terms of actual impact, it's got to be one of Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's where my journey into self-development started. There we go, mate.
Same.
Did we just become best friends?
Do we just become best friends? Yep.
But I got introduced to that from a guy who I was working for in recruitment, actually.
When did you read it?
God, it'll have been 2018, 2019.
I was already in lockdown.
Did you?
Yeah.
So that opened up a whole new world, because it's kind of me growing up. I didn't know that information was even available. You think it's a secret, don't you? Talking about The Secret, that's another book. That was the first ever book I got introduced to that made me feel some sort of more internal power, and not putting things out externally and expecting things externally, but knowing that the power's sort of within your thoughts and your visualization. And I'll tell you a short little story of how I stumbled upon that book. So when I were DJing, which is a completely different podcast probably,
we've gone off on all sorts of tangents, haven't we?
I'd found myself as part of a duo. We became successful really quick, and we were touring the UK, Europe, Spain, Portugal, playing at festivals. We played at flipping Creamfields, Park Life, and we ended up signing to a label with two lads from Manchester, and they're called Salado.
Oh yeah.
So we signed to Salado's label. Again, going back to something I said in the past, that was my sort of, let's call it a God-given talent of connection. So the lad who I was in the duo with was a master. I used to call him the Dr. Dre of house music, because that's literally what he was, a genius. He were making music, and I formed this duo with him. The only thing, he was too proud to ever reach out to anyone. So this, you can be the greatest producer in the world, if no one knows about you, then you're no good. So I were kind of reaching out, sharing our music with people, and we landed with Salado. We signed to their label. So we went and met the lads in a place called Kettlebell Kitchen in Manchester, and we were just talking about some upcoming shows that we were going to be playing at with them and stuff like that. And we were just sat like me and you are here. One of them, James, absolute nutty Mancunian. Just talk about energy, mate. He brought the energy to everything. He was like the Liam Gallagher of the house music scene. He had a book on the table, and he didn't say anything about it. And we were just talking, and I just couldn't help but see this like orange, ready book. Oh, okay. So I ended up just asking him about it. And because of how successful they were becoming, I just thought I need to try and understand some patterns of success here. So he kind of explained to me what the secret was. So that's when I got into that book. And that set me off on self-development. Just as soon as you can feel a change from reading words or studying something, it can actually tangibly change your understanding, knowledge, wisdom. And that's when I thought, oh God, this is endless.
The shit work.
Whoa, shit.
The shit work.
Watch out.
Yeah, I said the same. I think for me it was 2020. 2019. I started looking at people that were doing well, and I thought, well, what are they doing? Like, how have they got to where they are? One of my best friends, Elliot, he's
Curiosity.
the hardest working person you've ever met, and he got into it probably earlier than me, and he was reading certain books, and I suppose it's like it's the outcome of the work you put in is then the motivation to keep doing the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Started reading all different kinds of stuff. So yeah, I read The Secret, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, many other books as well. And you start putting into practice the things that you're learning from the books, and then you start seeing the outcome.
That's the thing.
And then you're like, well, yes, this works. And you start trying new things, and then it's just a snowball effect from there, isn't it?
And not to be, some people get caught in the trap of, they call it mental masturbation, don't they? So they might read 20 books in a week.
Yeah.
But never do anything.
Yeah, never take any action.
So it is like you can find a book for anything. And that's a great thing. What you realise is, look at a weakness in your life, look at a weakness in your personality, or, like what we're doing now, public speaking. There's a book on fucking public speaking, probably from an expert who's got research from fucking psychologists, from blah, 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 and it's all here.
What would you say one of your weaknesses is?
I still struggle with the ability of focus, singular focus. I still do get attracted to shiny things. So that's something I'm working on.
What are you doing to work on it?
Trying to say no to things.
Setting the boundaries.
Yeah. I was like what you said earlier. I'm saying yes. I was like that. And there is a time in your life when you should say yes to a lot of things. But now what I've realised is, if I say yes to something now, it's going to take something away from something else. It's going to take energy and focus away from potentially my family. I've got to be very careful now what I say yes to. And it's a lot more of a sacred thing now, saying yes to things and saying no.
Going back to the Secret, obviously a very well-known book worldwide. What was your key takeaway from that book?
I felt, I don't know why I've got this random memory, right? I'm in a bath and I didn't read it, I listened to it, because I always listen to audiobooks. So I think I was watching it on YouTube, and I was sat in bath, And it might only be one sentence that you hear in a full book that could force some sort of change. And I was laid it back and I just felt a surge of like internal power for some reason. Control, a bit more self-control. That's what it was. And it felt really empowering to feel that I could have more control over my destiny than I actually thought I could.
Stoicism.
Correct. Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway from me from the book was you get from the world what you give out. And it's sort of the internal self dialogue. I think the biggest key thing for me was I always knew that I was destined to do something significant in the world.
Yeah.
And I knew that from an early age. But then when I read The Secret, I was like, I know it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then, 4 or 5 years later, Tom's Talks is doing really, really cool things in the world. The coolest thing for me is like going somewhere you're not from, you wouldn't have a clue anybody else. And somebody goes, "Oh, you're that guy from TikTok." Oh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Even yesterday I was at the this exhibition for the furniture company, and maybe 3 or 4 times somebody stopped me and said, "Oh, I love what you're doing, mate.
Nice.
It's really cool.
I love that.
Seeing you online, keep doing what you're doing."
Yeah.
But it goes back to the taking the action from the things that you're reading and the self-development that you're doing. Like I said to myself numerous times in the morning, like I'm here to do something fucking significant in the world. Like I'm gonna do something amazing.
That's really empowering, isn't it? And I had that same feeling, but I didn't have any right to feel that. Looking back, I don't know, where does that come from? Where does that feeling? And our mutual friend Cruz,
Yeah, good guy.
really good. I've become really close friends with Cruz, and he called me up one time, and I still have that feeling inside. It's a tangible feeling. He said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm excited, but just about nothing." And he replied and he said, "I feel like a kid on Christmas Eve. I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I'm excited." But I was just talking about a general day. So,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it is a feeling, and I've had that feeling since I was a young kid. I give a lot to my parents. Although we're very humble upbringing, they always made sure we had food, good clothes on us back, and opportunities. But some of the best things I can pull, what they did for me was, my mum introduced like a spirituality to me early on, which I'm very grateful for. She talked about karma, which now I look back and at the time you're like, oh yeah, whatever. But now I'm looking back and she made me believe that there's actually a bigger force at play. And then just positive thinking. She put a picture next to mine and my brother's bed, and it were a poem, and it were called "The Man That Thinks He Can."
Can you remember the poem?
I can't remember it word for word, but basically it was a very empowering poem that whatever you think, you can. If you think you can't, that's also true. So all these like subtle messages
I've got it, yeah.
early on. Have we got it? Go on, lad.
No. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It's all the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. If you think you've got the high to rise, you've got to be sure of yourself before. You can never win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but soon or late the man who wins is the man who thinks he can.
I've got goosebumps, man. I've got goosebumps. I'm so thankful. Wow, fucking hell. Oh, yeah. That's probably got me, that one.
What does it mean to you?
Sorry, guys.
No, don't apologise, man.
I can't explain. I think I need a minute here.
Oh, good,
Didn't
mate.
expect that to get me so hard. Just so grateful for my, the upbringing. Just to the power that has on a. What fucking hell?
Take your time, man. Take your time.
Let me recover from that one.
Take your time. That's an unbelievable poem, man.
It's just hit me though, like in the moment. Yeah. I've just got over that now. But that in that moment, it's all just hit me that how powerful actually that is, having that there as a young lad.
I love it. I love it. I think it's
It just sets a stall for a lot of things.
so true, though, isn't it? Everything.
So true. It all starts in the mind. So trying to understand the power of the mind at such young ages, I think, a really important thing.
How many times have we said, Dan, in the workshops that we do in schools, talk a lot about fear of failure and believing in yourself and that internal self-dialogue, and I say to kids, like, if you wake up in the morning and you say you can't, then you won't. If you wake up in the morning and say that you can, you will.
Yeah,
and
exactly that.
Eliminate those self-limiting beliefs and just go for it.
Exactly, mate. And I said it to you in our podcast, the fact that you're saying words to those young kids like that, I don't think you'll realise what impact that could have on them. And you might get 10, 20 years down the line, and you might have someone like me coming up like a fucking blubbering mess coming up to you and saying, those words that you said back then, that hit me deep. Yeah. So thank you for that.
No, it's been a pleasure, mate. What was the age in which you went on that journey of self-development?
I'll have been 20... I stopped DJing when I was 24, 25.
Why did you stop DJing?
It was a rising ship. So the duo were going bam, bam, bam. We're about to get bookings in America, fucking all over the globe. And there was just something inside of me. It was a lifestyle. I was becoming conscious of my health. There were sleepless nights, drugs, alcohol, promiscuous behaviour, shall we say. And there were just a lot of dark temptations. And I could see a future version of myself that I didn't like. So I had to take myself out of it.
That self-awareness is incredible.
Thank you, mate.
Because how many people do you know that would have, especially as a lad, as a young lad of the 20s and early 20s, that's a lot of what goes on, isn't it? Going out, doing things you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, all that kind of behaviour. But to have that self-awareness, fair play, mate. That's
Thank you,
incredible.
mate. Well, I felt like I'd done it all already, and then I was going into it all again, and I was becoming aware of how it was making me feel. Becoming conscious at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm in someone's fucking kitchen. We'd just played an after party, and we're all talking about why the fucking Earth's flat. Like, I've been here for the last 6 weeks. I don't need to talk about this again. And that's what kind of started my journey of coming away from alcohol as well.
You don't drink, do you?
No, I don't drink. I've not had a drink for 3.5 years now.
Congratulations.
My 30th birthday, we had an awesome party. My wife organised this brilliant party. My closest friends there, old friends from school. I look back at it now and it was almost biblical, because it was like that was the end of an era. I've not touched a drink since.
Congratulations, man.
But we've done a full episode on our podcast about it, and I'm not preachy about it because it's your own journey. So for me, I've realised alcohol's not good for me, and I feel fucking amazing now, and I have got the closest relationships I've ever had in my life right now.
What's been the biggest empowering takeaway, the biggest change in your life since quitting alcohol?
I am me. I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm not trying to fit into a group, because that's what I used alcohol for, always. I used it as a lubricant, a social tool to fit myself into a group. And that is damaging on your fucking soul, whatever you're doing to yourself. So now I don't have any of that, and I am who I am, and I'm okay if people don't like that. I'm now the people I connect with, and you know, I can be fully present with them, with my family, with my wife. I can have deep conversations like I am doing with you right now. Back in the past, when I used to use alcohol, I'd never have conversations like this, and I wasn't able to cognitively go there with my brain. I used to think I was dumb.
If the only thing that you can do with your friends is drink, then you need a different set of friends.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. That's a big statement, but it's so true.
Similar for me when I was younger. Like I've got friends, and I'm still friends with them, and a lovely set of lads. But there was other people that I thought to myself, if I didn't drink and we spent time with each other, what the fuck would we talk about?
Yeah. That's not the foundation for a good relationship, is it? I actually remember, and like you say, I grew up with these lads, and they're all great lads. But their thing was, and probably still is now, they go and drink, and they meet at the same pub, talk about football results, shagging birds, and other stuff like that. And I used to play football, but I never loved the game like what these guys talk about as a fan sort of thing. I used to remember, before meeting them at the pub, I'd fucking look at the latest results to try and have something to talk about with them, because I didn't have anything in common with a lot of them.
It's interesting you say that. I remember, I like house music. I like house music with lyrics, like Armand van Helden and
Nice, yeah.
You know, like MK and DJs like that.
Piano-y uplifting stuff.
Yeah, but I remember when I was younger, like they'd go to Ibiza every year, and they'd love like deep tech.
Like techno and
I can't stand it.
Yeah,
Fucking hate it. I think it's the most boring shit in the world.
Yeah.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd find myself driving around in the car, putting this music on, trying to enjoy it because that's what they'd listen to. And then I'd be thinking to myself, I fucking hate it. Like, why am I trying to enjoy this music? And why do I keep forcing myself to go to these raves and do whatever? I can't stand it. And the only way you can enjoy it is if you get absolutely
off your bean.
Yeah, and then you wake up the next day like, would I have enjoyed that sober? Absolutely not.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I remember as well, I used to love dance music and house music, and that was my thing. It always has been. And the group, they were indie heads, and I used to try and listen to it and like fucking force myself to like it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Still
Is it? Do I like it now? I don't know. But you try and fit into different boxes, don't you? And
have you ever had this? That alcohol is the only drug that when you don't take, people wonder why. Liner, cocaine on the table.
Yeah.
People are like, well, what are you doing that for?
Yeah.
But pass you a drink and you say no. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you not drinking?
So
what's
weird.
wrong with you?
It's so weird, man. It's so weird. You're made to feel bad for not partaking which is it's a cultural thing, isn't it? It's a cultural thing.
But then it's like, for example, like now, I've said I'm not. When my wife, when we start to have kids, and if she becomes pregnant, I've said the day that you say that you're not pregnant, I'm not going to drink. I'm going to give myself the challenge, but also so I can support her.
Yeah.
The 9 months, I'm going to not drink alcohol.
That's a pretty good plan, mate.
Um,
And then, have you got any intention after that, or are you just going to go with 9 months and
I'm
see?
not a big drinker anyway, mate, just because purely I just don't like the way that it makes me feel, and I'm not one I don't really enjoy just one drink. Occasionally I do enjoy just having a beer.
Yeah.
Do enjoy that.
Yeah.
Very occasionally, it's got to be a nice warm day, and it's got to be a good beer, like a nice Peroni or something.
Yeah.
But for me, I think if I'm not drinking, I'm not drinking. I can't, for me, and you get questioned, I'll just have one. It's never just one. More often than not, it's never just one.
No.
In that environment, you're the lads, you're getting giddy. Oh, just have one. One becomes two, two becomes three, three becomes four. Before you know it, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
You've split up with your missus. And
shit's gone sideways.
Exactly.
Hangovers happen.
Yeah. No, it's same, because I were all or nothing. So
Same, mate. All or nothing.
I'm all or nothing.
I'm like that in life in general.
Yeah. I think it's a personality trait, isn't it?
Just a quick one. Most of you watching this episode aren't yet subscribed. So if you want your weekly motivation from some incredible guests, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on.
Two more questions. How can someone find a new group as they grow as a person?
I think it's pretty simple. I think it's just a case of whatever your interest is, find a group of people who have that same interest. And the likelihood of you connecting with them people is a lot higher than just going out and walking to a fucking random place. It's same with the studies around finding a partner. If you go into, say one of your core values is health, fitness, well-being, if you're going to places that align with that, the likelihood of you finding a partner in that space suddenly goes up in percentages. So align your values and go find your people.
Love that, mate. The last question. So you said you were 24 years old when you really started to work on yourself.
Yeah.
And looking at different ways of self-development. If you could go back to 24-year-old Alex, what would you say to him?
I'd just say you're about to enjoy this, because I don't like going back and talking about regret. I believe everything we experience in life is meant for us, and I see it like have you seen the film Slumdog Millionaire?
I haven't actually, no.
So in that story, and this is what I see life as, it's like putting a jigsaw together, but you only understand it when all the pieces are fit together. So in Slumdog Millionaire, he ends up going on this game show and he thinks that he's got no knowledge. But all of the questions relate back to an event in his life, which he then answers correctly. So the beautiful thing about that is you don't know if it's good or if it's bad, whatever's happening to you. Yeah. But it is what's meant to be happening. So that's how I look at life, and I think you can get a bit too concerned with if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter, because you're going to learn either way, and you're meant to be exactly where you are right now.